New characters, new team-ups, a fixed and competitive and ranked, new maps, skins. Season 2 looks like it's going to be epic. Also, I can already hear some of you saying, well, why is Emma Frost so thick? It's because the hitbox, bro, okay? She's a Vanguard. She needs a bigger hitbox. There's a scientific reason behind it. In an unrelated note to her thickness, I will just happen to be maining this character and getting her Lord icon on day 1. But it has nothing to do with her thickness, okay? I'm telling you, it's the hitbox. She's a Vanguard. She needs it. But all joking aside, right off the bat, the 2 new characters we're going to be getting is Emma Frost, who is a Vanguard that we'll be getting in 2.0 when it drops, and that will be on April 11th. Then at the halfway point, similar to this season when we got Johnny and the Thing, in patch 2.5 we'll be getting Ultron. And Ultron is said to be a strategist, which is perfect because we need more Vanguards and strategists. They also said they're going to be dropping a new character every month, and that each season will now be 2 months long. That's wild. I really hope for season 3, it's another Vanguard and another strategist, just to further level out the discrepancy between the 3 roles. There's way too many DPS right now. Like we already speculated, Emma Frost is going to be a Vanguard that can use her diamond transformation and also use her telepathic abilities. Anyone that's watched X-Men knew this would be her kit, and we've talked about that on this channel already. Well, I can't tell the future, but I can confirm that there's going to be a lot more Vanguard mains out there, and her gameplay looks incredibly fun. She has 2 different forms she can use, her crystallized and non-crystallized. She uses her telepathic abilities for a projectile damage. From range, she can put out a crystal that acts as a barrier, absorbing damage, and she has this crystallized shield she can put up, which apparently can block Iron Man's ultimate. Wild. She can actually go into diamond form and do melee combos too, and actually can knock you off the edge, which is crazy. Looks like she's gonna have some combos too, which is insane. Not only will she have 2 types of gameplay, ranged and brawler mode, when you go into diamond form it increases her damage and her survivability. And oh my god, the animation here. Gotta love it. This is her ultimate. It looks like it sucks enemies towards you, otherwise these guys just willingly jumped off the cliff, so I'm gonna assume she can draw them closer. Which you already know, similar to Groot, you're gonna be able to utilize this with other team members and their ultimates. Man, I cannot wait for this character. Emma Frost is also going to have a team up with Magneto and Psylocke. We might as well talk about team-ups while we're talking about Emma Frost and then transition into Ultron. Her new team-up with Magneto and Psylocke is called Mental Projection, and they can summon a clone of themselves. And from the looks of the livestream, not only will it create a clone, so the enemy team won't know which one to shoot, or at least it'll take a second to figure out which is which, it seems like they can also do damage. Man, I can already see this being absolutely absurd once people get the hang of it. It's too bad she doesn't have a team up with Loki. There'd be like 10 Loki clones. Be nuts. There's also another new team up with Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange, and somebody that plays a lot of Scarlet Witch, I'm pretty excited about this one. I think this one's gonna benefit her quite a bit and make her a little bit more viable, since she is one of the worst DPS in the game. Unfortunately, this does nerf Magneto quite a bit, but I don't want to jump the gun. We don't know for sure if it will nerf Magneto that much. I think Magneto players will just have to adjust to the new team-up. And honestly, this new team-up with Emma Frost might just be what the Doctor ordered, since Magneto usually has to solo tank. This might be a great excuse to have someone else pick another Vanguard, so Magneto gets a team-up with another Vanguard and doesn't have to solo it all the time. But Scarlet Witch can tap into Doctor Strange's magic that transforms her burst damage into rapid-fire long-range projectiles that are independent from her chaos energy meter. There's another new team-up called the Stars Aligned with Cap and the Winter Soldier. They can pounce towards allies for quick repositioning that sends out a large shockwave, damaging nearby enemies, also causing a debuff to nearby enemies. Some other existing team-ups got changed, like Psylocke is no longer a part of Magic and Black Panther. The Winter Soldier was removed from Rocket and the Punisher team-up. Namor was removed from Luna Snow, which actually makes me sad, but now Namor was added to the Gamma one, so now there'll be Gamma Squids instead of Ice Squids. I'm very intrigued about this one, considering that I don't really know why Namor's teaming up with Iron Man and the Hulk. Doesn't really make sense if we're going by lore-wise, but hey, I'm curious to see what this looks like. Doctor Strange obviously then was removed from the Gamma to make way for Namor. Also, no more Thor, Storm, and Cap team-up. That one's been on the shelf for now. Also, don't worry about these team-ups. I'm sure they're going to cycle them through. So if you're sad about Magneto losing the Scarlet Witch one, for example, I am sure they'll bring it back at some point. We don't really have much information on Ultron other than he's more than likely going to be a strategist. Ultron is mostly known for hacking. He's an AI system that can create and summon many different robots in his army. So I wonder if he'll have a summoning anti-diving mechanic as a strategist. That would be very interesting. Or maybe be able to disable healing for the enemy team for a time being. As for the theme itself, it's the Hellfire Gala theme, and it's going to be taking place on Krakoa, themed around mutants, with Ultron being the villain of this whole season. The aesthetic of Krakoa looks absolutely stunning. We will be getting a new map right off the hop. Here we have a new Cap, Black Panther, this looks like Bruce Banner to me, and Black Widow skins. Probably part of the Battle Pass. Another Luna Snow skin, Wolverine obviously. The Scarlet Witch one looks awesome. Another Cloak and Dagger skin. But I'm gonna be honest, my favorite addition to the new skins is the Psylocke and Magic traditional X-Men skins. I think they look awesome, and I play both of these characters avidly, so I'm pumped for this. Also very subtly, there's Loki having a just casual conversation with Doctor Doom, which I thought was hilarious, as well as the new Star-Lord and Rocket skin. They're also adding a very underrated but really awesome feature where you can customize your skins, adding for more personalization, so you can really have a skin that you really like, but have the colors in a way that best suits you and what you like, which will make your character very unique to you, and it's even going to allow you to gift some of these to other people. Just a phenomenal quality of life feature in my opinion. They're also going to be optimizing the replay system, so if you have any replays now that you want to save, do it because they're going to be removed. They also have some upcoming plans for Marvel Rivals tournaments, but I love how the devs even acknowledge that there's like fan-made team-ups like Groot and Moon Knight or Winter Soldier. Using Groot's ultimate in combination with other characters can secure kills, or Magneto getting boosted with his ultimate to stop healer ults. But we do know that they specifically pointed out Penny Parker, Scarlet Witch, Mr. Fantastic, and Black Widow as Jeff the Landshark and Rocket Raccoon as characters that struggle the most in the broader landscape of the game. So I expect that these characters are going to be getting a lot of love in 2.0. I really wonder if they're going to be reshaping some of these characters completely, like they did with Iron Fist. Actually, why didn't they even mention Iron Fist? It seems like they don't even know what they want to do with this character yet. I am very curious to see how this pans out. They also make a note to say that some of these adjustments will happen in 2.0 and then later on in 2.5. What I take from that is they're probably going to buff them significantly and see how it goes. If they overbuff them a bit, like they did with Storm from Season 0 to 1, then they might have to refine tune them, maybe nerf them a little bit, and level out these characters. That's my guess. I expect all those characters named to get some huge buffs though. Penny Parker and Captain America getting buffs while Doctor Strange is getting a nerf again. Apparently his damage is getting nerfed, but they're going to increase his survivability again. I don't know. Let me know how you Strange mains feel about that one. Apparently Scarlet Witch and the Winter Soldier are going to be getting some kind of team-up ability, as well as Mr. Fantastic and Moon Knight getting some slight buffs. Rocket Raccoon will be getting some utility increasement, while Loki and Adam Warlock are getting some nerfs with their soul bond in their ruin. And Loki's ruin. Where the hell is the Spider-Man nerf? Jeez. There was also going to be some changes in competitive. For example, they state if you end the season in Diamond 1, then you will start the new season in Silver 1. So you will not have to start from Bronze again. And it appears you're going to be going down 3 ranks exactly from where you are. So if you're in Grandmaster 1, then you're going to go back down to Gold 1. If you're in Celestial 3, then you're going to be going back down to Plat 3. If that makes sense. They're also going to be sidelining a couple maps in the rotation, which I'm not a big fan of, but it's not the end of the world. I just think the more maps, the less chance of replaying the same maps within the same hour that you play. Although getting a new map is cool, we don't want to get burnt on it too fast. I'm not a big fan of that change, but we'll see what happens. But the maps they're removing are only for competitive, not for custom games or quick match. Another change they're making is they're raising the minimum requirement for your level to play competitive from 10 to 15. This will slightly mitigate the smurfs that make a new account level up to 10 quick. There is also going to be ban picks in gold now, so if you're in gold or platinum you can ban characters, which honestly makes sense, because the entire dynamic of the game changes when you can ban. It made no sense that you could have a Smurf, Spider-Man, or Wolverine wreaking havoc in plat or gold, and you can't even ban them, so I like that change. You're also only allowed to dual queue with one other person from eternity on, so no more groups of 3 or 4 people in those ranks. And finally, the biggest change and one I'm very much looking forward to, your individual performance within a competitive match will determine how many points you gain or lose. So even if you're on the losing team but you're killing it and you are clearly the best player, this will affect how many points you lose. This is good for multiple reasons. For one, it will deter people that actually just throw the game and give up, or just sit in the spawn when things don't go their way or they don't get the character that they want. Even if you're down a man, you can actually just push and do your best and try to mitigate how many points you lose. Try to win the fight. And by that actually happening, you'd be surprised how many games you end up winning doing that. It also means that people that are clearly just getting carried by good teammates won't be able to climb nearly as fast as people that are doing the carrying. Not to pick on Rocket Raccoon, because I actually love Rocket Raccoon mains, but if you're just sitting there spamming the heal button doing nothing else, and you're kind of just being carried up the ranks, I really just don't see you getting that many points. Maybe that's a bad example, but effectively if you're performing well, you're going to be getting the most points possible. And maybe a loss only loses you 10 points if you have an amazing game and you still lost, which isn't so bad. Losing 10 points rather than losing 25 or 30 is huge. Probably the best thing to come out of this patch in my opinion. Now to summarize, I've played a lot of games my entire life, and I have never seen in my life developers that actually listen to the community and give us what we want. Make effective and fun changes that make the game dynamic, keep it diverse and interesting, changing the competitive side of it as well as making it fun for casuals, cool skins, cool gameplay, it aesthetically looks nice. The quality of life we're getting too is some of the things we weren't even asking for, like the custom colorization of your skin, and obviously they heard the complaints about competitive and they're trying something. They're making an adjustment to see how it goes. You don't have to start from bronze again, and your personal performance will make a huge difference. I'm glad that they also acknowledged the characters that need buffs. Scarlet Witch is a huge one for me since I play her a ton, but Mr. Fantastic mains, I'm sure you guys are excited to get some buffs. I wonder what they're going to do with Black Widow. I talked in a video not that long ago about how they could fix this character. I don't think a simple buff is enough for her. I think they need to revamp her a little bit. Make her batons and her melee do more and make it more effective. It's also nice for Penny to get a buff and be a little bit more viable, as well as Rocket Raccoon and Jeff. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. What are you most excited about in 2.0? We're going to be getting new heroes every month. So if you're a little discouraged because a hero you want to see in this game wasn't announced yet, give it time. A month goes by very quickly. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. And as always, we will see you all in the next one. Later.